Well, the NYPD says overall crime is down, including a record-breaking drop in shootings, a 30-year low. But while numbers are down, perception may not match that reality, as many in the city still do not feel safe walking down the street or even taking public transit. As we showed you yesterday, last month there were about 1,300 fewer major crime incidents reported, a drop of 14.5% compared to the same time last year. NYPD data also shows transit crime was down just over 15%. This after a deployment of additional officers to subway platforms and trains, as we have been talking about over the last few months. Joining us now is CBS News law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, our good friend Richard Esposito. Richard, good to see you right there. So these numbers, all very, very positive. And let me just ask you first, before we talk about the whole perception matching the reality, what are city officials doing that's causing such a drop in these crime numbers?
That's, Commissioner Tisch and her team are doing a remarkable job of being where crime occurs, when crime occurs, but before crime occurs. So they're using hyperlocal precision policing in a very, very effective way. And that's really what they're doing.
Let me ask you this, and not to blame past commissioners, but it doesn't seem like that revolutionary an idea. Why would it take so long to adopt something like this, or to do something that just seems so rather obvious? You go where the crime is.
Yeah, it's not a new idea. It began way back with Jack Maple and Commissioner Bratton with pins on a map, and now it's got Commissioner Tisch and her chief of crime control, Mike LaPetri, using computers. But a pendulum has swung, and the police department is able to push through the political atmosphere now and give the public what they want. So there's a relentless, renewed focus on what the department does very well.
And is that the key, Richard? Because, to kind of highlight on what you just mentioned right there, it seems like there's less red tape, so to speak, if I can use that term, and the police are able to police now.
I think one of the things that's happening is the political class is waking up to what the city wants, and they're running for office, so they're getting out of the way of the police department, and people who in the past might have been critical of police are now embracing the police.
Let's talk about the subways. We've seen the addition of gates on some platforms, more police patrols overnight. At one point, the National Guard was deployed. The things like that, though, that people and commuters can see, you think that's leading to the overall safer feel in the subway system? I mean, I know there's still issues with people, but for the most part, the numbers show crime is down. So this must be working, and it looks like something that the NYPD is going to have to continue.
Not only continue the policing they're doing, but continue the message that Commissioner Tisch is delivering very strongly. To get perception to catch up with the reality, you've got to keep being out there and saying the right things as well as doing the right things. And she is out there saying the right things to restore public confidence. It's really what's needed.
I want to talk about this. You kind of alluded to before. You've got candidates that are running for mayor. It's election season, and now everybody's going to basically has to step forward, and we have to see what their approach on law and order is. The former governor who stepped into the ring earlier this weekend, what was the one thing that he said during his first speech on Sunday was the biggest mistake that political leaders have made in New York City over the past years is cutting police funding. That's got to be something the NYPD probably loves to hear. And to your point before, the public hearing that, whoever these elected officials are going to put more back into the police department to increase safety. That's where the direction we'd like to move in.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Cuomo has always been moderate, and he's always been a strong backer of policing. And now you're seeing a shift from people who in the past may not have been such strong backers. And they're going to call out for more police. They're going to call out for tougher policing. Those are the words they're running on. Will they deliver, and will they stay with their message? And that's going to be that's going to be an important part of this campaign, where a lot of people are moving from the progressive left towards the middle in their effort to get elected.
No, that's the one thing that we seem to see on both sides of the aisle right now. If you are running on that message, if you do not stick to it, your own constituents will call you out sooner than later. Richard, great to see you, as always. Thank you so much. Richard Esposito, who joins us each and every week to talk about all of the topics of the week, and we appreciate him, as always. For more, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com.